Invasive species is an organism that causes ecological or economic harm in a new environment where it is not native. They can arrive in non-native territories via ocean-going ships, international and accidental releases of aquaculture species, aquarium specimens, bait or other means. It's not entirely proved that the tick has spread globally, but the methods and rates in which they reproduce is highly concerning. The invasive population of the ticks in the United States and other parts of the world likely began by 3 or more self-cloning females from northeastern Asia. According to the Northeast Regional Centre for Excellence in Vector-Borne Diseases, or the NAVBD, it has since made its way to other countries like Australia, New Zealand and the United States. In fact, in 2017, the Asian longhorn tick has been confirmed in many parts of the US, as per reports done by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or the CDC. Information on the biology of Asian longhorn ticks is mainly found in its native range or Oceania, where it's also invasive. Like all hard ticks, Haemophilus longicornis larvae emerge from eggs laid in soil and have 3 active development stages: 6-legged larvae, 8-legged nymphs, and 8-legged adults, all feeding exclusively on vertebrate blood. The ticks move on and off host 3 times in the life cycle, as the blood meal is a necessary preamble to molting to the next stage and eventually for egg development. Larvae climb close vegetation and then wait for a suitable host in the late summer. A blood-fed tick will drop off its host several days after and molt into a nymph in the following spring. Nymphs then again climb onto the nearby vegetation and seek a second host to blood feed. Dropping off for a final time, the tick will molt into an adult and seek a final host midsummer. After all this feeding, an adult female will drop off its host and produce up to 2,000 eggs over a 2 to 3 week period, which is an extremely high reproduction rate for any species, but very concerning for an invasive species. The reproduction method of Asian longhorn ticks is considered unusual among other tick species. They can produce offspring by both sexual reproduction, offspring that develops by eggs fertilised by a male, or parthenogenic reproduction, offspring that develop by unfertilised eggs from an unmated female. And it's interesting to know that the males are usually uncommonly found in invasive populations, such as the populations found in Australia and New Zealand, and it appears to be the case in the US, but it's not confirmed yet. The ability of female Asian longhorn ticks to reproduce offspring in the absence of males could be the reason the tick has spread so rapidly and reached high abundances in certain parts of the world. It's clear we understand a lot about invasive species and the biology of this tick in general, but it's still very difficult to know how invasive species arrive and how they will affect the local wildlife and ecosystems. Organisations like the ones I have mentioned need to ensure data is collected rapidly when a species is identified as invasive. It can prevent diseases, loss of wildlife and livestock, and global economic issues.